Hey, shalom, shalom. And before I get started, as always, call halal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Quadash, and double honors be unto our apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone that rule well and that teach well and that taught me this truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, and peace and blessings be unto the elect, men, women, and children that also believe on the names Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right. And it's the brother Yakal from the GMS Alaska coming back at you with another brief lesson. All right. In Lord's will, it be edifying. Okay. Unto the lambs, the sheep of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. All right. And the title of today's lesson will be Don't Be Discouraged. We are rich. Okay. And I'm going to read that again. Don't be discouraged. We are rich. All right. Those of us who have this wisdom, this knowledge, and this understanding, all right, of the Holy Scriptures. Okay. We're rich, man. Okay. The Lord even said, which we're going to get here in a second, you know, he know our works in tribulation, but we're rich. Okay. And once again, why, man? Because we have the wisdom, the knowledge of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, that's going to keep us stable throughout our walk, man. Throughout this spiritual journey. Okay, this spiritual battle. Okay. That's one thing. This is one thing that we have that the rest of the world can't obtain, man. Okay. You know, which is this truth. Okay, and we're rich, man. Okay. Because we're in the know of the Holy Scriptures. All right. And yeah, man, and we're rich and we're also blessed. Okay, to be able to receive this truth and to see it for what it is, man. All right, and not come with the gimmicks and all the other bullshit these guys try to come with, man. All right, and yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and get straight to it. You know, I'm gonna get Revelations 2:9 to begin with, and we'll go from there. All right, but no matter what, man, no matter what we go through, okay, we have the faith, we have the understanding, man. Okay, the wisdom and knowledge that's gonna keep us stable. All right. When everybody else is all bugged out, and which they're bugged out now, but I'm saying, like, when shit hit the fan and people are just bugging, ain't got no answers. Okay, that's when we gonna shine the most. All right, because then shall they know a prophet was amongst them. Okay. So we can't be discouraged, man. And real quick, before I get this precept, I want to go into that word discouraged or discouraged. Okay. It says discouraged, to cause someone to lose confidence or enthusiasm. Right? So this is we don't want to have this spirit on us, man. And if this spirit do try to come, you know, we gotta rebuke those demons, man. You know, because that's a demon that's trying to get you out of the spirit, man. Because remember, we're battling against spiritual wickedness in high places. You know, so we have to constantly pray. All right. And whatever we're lacking, you know, also we have to pray to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai that he strengthen us in, you know, in the areas that we're lacking. Okay, that we're falling short on. All right, and beg him not to take the Holy Spirit from us. Okay, because this is the only way out, man. Okay, is fearing Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you know, of course, being in this truth and enduring to the end, man. You know, bearing your cross. You know, dealing with whatever we may have to deal with, man. Okay. and also be comforted through whatever we're going through, because the scripture is also known as the comforter. All right. But, we can't lose confidence, man. We're at the end. For now's our salvation nearer than when we believed. Okay. The way these prophecies are kicking off. Okay. Though it tarry, like the scripture says, but wait for it. Okay. For it would surely come. All right. We, of course, we want this place to be through. We ready for it to go. But we got to wait for it, man. Okay. Here's the faith and the patience of the saints. Okay. We got to wait for it and just continue doing the work, man. As a faithful servant would do. Yeah, man. I mean, yeah. Let's see. Let me see if I can go into some more definitions on discourage or discourage. All right. Which I said ultimately it means to lose confidence, in which we don't want to do in this truth. And that's why no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of his life. Okay. Because you end up getting sidetracked. When we're not keeping our eyes single. Okay. So that's very important within our walk, is to keep our eyes single and, try not to be so stressed out about, shit that we can't control. Okay. And just cast whatever burdens or whatever that could be a burden unto us, cast that unto the Lord, man. Okay. And let the Lord do what it do, man. And while we continue being faithful and push, real quick, let's get that Revelation 2:9. Or actually, Salakia. Like I said, I wanted to get a couple more similar definitions. Or not similar definitions, similar words on discouraged. Okay. And it says let me see what it got here. Low spirited. Okay. Sad and depressed. We should never be sad and depressed. Okay, no matter what we go through, man. I know at times it get hard, but we got this truth, man. As I'm going to get here in a little bit, we got this treasure in earthen vessels, man. Okay, so we got to be happy about that. We got to be happy that, we're not in the 1950s or whatnot, that we got 100 and some or so years left, man. We're close, man. So we got to be happy, man, no matter what we go through. Okay, we still have this truth, man. Okay, we can't cast away that confidence. Lord will, I'm gonna get that precept too. All right, but this was pretty much it on discouraged. And real quick, Revelations 2:9. It says, I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. Right? So the elect are rich, man. Okay, spiritually. Okay, because of the knowledge. All right, but we're not rich physically. All right, but spiritually, man. Okay. And that's the most important part. Okay? Because the people who are rich on this side, they receive their consolation, man. They got their reward. All right, but we're seeking one to come. All right, but we got to stand firm and hold fast. Okay, with what the Lord gave us, man. So that no man take our crown. No man, no nothing. Okay, Romans 8. What should separate us from the love of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man? It said persecution, nakedness, peril. All right, nothing, man. Okay. You know, we got to keep that eye single, man. We got to understand what we're involved in, man. Like Apostle Gabar, I always say, which is true. We got to understand the seriousness, the severity of this truth, man. All right. And not play with the Lord's, his blood, man. All right. That he shed for us. Okay. And, yeah, that was it on that. Let me get real quick. I had quoted a precept going into, cast not away. Confidence. Salakia. Let me make sure I'm spelling this right. Okay. Bear with me one moment. Okay, here we go right here. Call Oya Bashimi Awashab Bashim Kakodash. This is Hebrews 10:35. And it reads, it says, cast not away therefore your confidence, which hath great recompense of reward. That's right. So we can't cast away our confidence, man. Let's go into the word confident real quick. Confidence. It says, Salakia. Hold on, let me get this real quick. Bear with me. Confidence. It says the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something, firm trust. So yeah, man, that faith. Okay, we can't cast that away. Okay, although shit get hard at times, it feels unbearable, but don't cast away your confidence. All right, this is still the truth. Okay, and we have the comfort, man. Okay, to get through, to get by. All right, whatever we need to get through. Okay, the Lord left us the comfort. All right, which is the Holy Scriptures, man. And we supposed to, read these precepts and believe in that, man. All right. Okay. That's what a man of the Lord would do. Okay. But one more time, it says, cast not away therefore your confidence, which hath great recompense of reward. Right. So there's going to be a great reward, man. All right. Behind us holding fast. All right. What we have. Okay. With what we have, which is this truth. All right. The understanding, man. All right. We're going to be greatly rewarded. Lord's will. We endure to the end. All right. But we got to be in good spirits, man. We can't always be in that woe is me spirit. Okay. No matter what we're going through, even when shit, like I say, even when shit get tough, we don't want to be in that woe is me spirit. Okay. Because that can get you out of the spirit. You can become depressed. You can become stressed. All right. And now you're not tending to things that's of the spirit, man. Okay. You're trying to seek comfort, but not comfort in the spirit. You're trying to seek comfort through the flesh. Okay. And that don't benefit anything. All right. The spirit does. Eventually. Okay. We're going to see the fruits of our labors, man. All right. Those of us who stand stiffly for Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. All right. And it says, verse 36, real quick, it says, for ye have need of patience, that after ye have done the will of the Most High, ye might receive the promise. That's right, man. We have need of patience, man. All right. As I quoted earlier, here's the faith and the patience of the saints. And we have to have that patience. We have to endure. We have to suffer. The wrath of the Lord, man. We have to bear the indignation of the Lord because we sinned against him. All right. But after all of this hell and Everything that we had to go through here is done. Okay. We're gonna receive the promise, man, which is the kingdom. All right. Well, rest is allowed, man. Okay. You can't even really get a proper rest here, man. All right. This place is so polluted, man. Hell. And this is why we're seeking for a new heaven and a new earth. All right. And it says, Salakia, verse 37. Hebrews 10 and 37. It says, for yet a little while, and he that shall come will come and will not tarry. All right. And who is it speaking about? Yahweh Shai, man. Okay. We just got to wait a little while, man. You know, and he that shall come will come and will not tarry. All right. These are the times that we're coming into, man. Okay. The Lord getting ready to come. Okay. And we got to be patient, man. Okay. And just trust in the process. You know, let me see. Pretty much was the points. Real quick, I'm gonna get that 2 Corinthians 4 and 7. Okay. You know, because we do have this treasure, all right, in earthen vessels, man. All right, once again, which represents, the treasure represents the wisdom and knowledge, all right, of this truth. Okay. It's likened unto a treasure. Okay, because this truth is that precious, man. It's that important. It's that important. All right. And we're going to see how important it is after this place is destroyed, and we was one of the ones who stood stiffly. Okay. You know, which brothers see it now, how important this treasure is. But I'm just saying it's really going to be manifested. All right. Physically. Okay. But those of us who have this truth, we already see how important it is, man. You know, certain guys, you know, ain't moving in the spirit and then end up getting found out, man. But real quick, this is 2 Corinthians 4 and 7. And it reads, but we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of the power may be of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and not of us. Right? So the treasure represents the truth. All right? Once again, the understanding of the Bible. And the earthen vessels are what? The bodies that we're in. Okay? These corruptible bodies. But we're fighting for the incorruptible bodies. All right? You know, so we can't be discouraged, man. All right. Because what we're fighting for is the greatest thing on the planet Earth right now. There's nothing greater than this. All right. And the elites, all right, of these Edomites, they know that. All right. And that's why they have taken crafty counsel against our people. Okay. To try to keep them away from this. Because when we come back to the Holy Scriptures, it represents power, man. Okay. We get power. All right. And eventually the Lord going to give us spiritual power, man. Okay. Which we have spiritual power somewhat on a smaller level, you know, just by having faith. Okay. But eventually it's going to be a normal thing, man. Okay. Right. So it says that the excellency of the power may be of the Most High and not of us. Right. So showing you that, you know, brothers didn't just choose themselves to be in this truth. All right. John 15, the 15th chapter tells you that it is not of us that we're in this truth, but of the will of the Most High. Okay. And it says, we are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. That's right. This is the men of the Lord, man. Okay. Or whoever claims to, be in this truth. Okay. You're going to be troubled, man. Okay. It says, yet not distressed. And it says, we are perplexed, but not in despair. Right. So pretty much we're more than conquerors, man. Okay. Even though we're troubled, even though we're catching it. Okay. We're not through. You know what I'm saying? Because we have this knowledge, this truth. All right. And it says, persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed. That's right. The Lord ain't forget about brothers, man. And it says cast down, but not destroyed. No matter what we go through, no matter how hard it hurts, and we get beat down, all right, but we're not destroyed, man. Okay, because there's still another day to keep fighting, to keep pushing. All right. Let me get the last precept real quick. Psalms 27 and 14. Okay. And it reads, let me see. I started at 13. It says, I had fainted unless I had believed to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Right. Would have fainted if we didn't believe to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Okay. Would have gave up on life. You know what I'm saying? But we got something worth fighting for, man. We're more than conquerors, like I quoted. Because otherwise we would have fainted, man. How the hell, Jake Catch here. We would have fainted. But, those of us who have this understanding, this truth, we believe to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. All right. So we know that the Lord is going to reward us. All we got to do is be faithful, man. All right. Even if we may have to get put to death. And that's something to pray upon, man. Because certain of us is going to have to be martyrs. All right. For this truth. And that's not an easy thing, man. But, once again, we got the comforter. We got the scriptures, man. All right. So really, I don't even fear death anymore, man. Okay. Because we know if something happened to us, our spirit is going to go back to where it came from, man, which is the Most High. All right. In verse 14, it says, wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thine heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. Okay. So this is what the men of the Lord are doing, man. All right. And you few sisters out there, we're waiting on the Lord. Okay. And we got to be of good courage, man. All right. We got to stay in good spirits, man. So we can be watchful and so we can be focused. Okay. Because you get all down in the spirit, it's hard to focus. You're thinking too much. So it's very important, man, in these times to remain watchful, man, remain focused. Okay. And don't be sidetracked by the cares of this world, man. All right. And, yeah, man, just continue to wait on the Lord, man. Yeah, that's it. Lord's will, this lesson was edifying. Okay. Unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel, man, unto the elect. And, with that, I'm going to say shalom, shalom.